Chapter 20 for Thrifty Household. As the window dimmed with golden light, Klein looked into Melissa's eyes, unable to find words because none of the lines he had prepared would be used. He coughed softly and then turned to his brain quickly. Melissa, it's not a waste of money. And when Benson and my colleagues come over, why not host them in a place like this? After Benson and I are married and have a wife, will we still have a low bed? Don't you have a fiancé yet? You can wait and save more money. Melissa says logically. No, Melissa, it's the rules of society. Klein was so upset that she had to make a big argument. If you get paid $3 a week, you have to be decent enough to match that. To be honest, he has squeezed the shared apartment. He is not unfamiliar with the current living conditions. Completely adapt. But it is because of such experience, he is more and more understanding of the inconvenience of similar environment for girls. And his goal is to become extraordinary, study the occult, find the road home. The future is not to make some magic rituals at home. Apartment people miscellaneous, easy to cause problems. When Melissa wanted to say more, Klein quickly added, Don't worry, I'm not thinking of a detached house. I'm going to look at a Terran. Anyway, with a bathroom of my own. And I like Mrs. Slynn's bread, and tingles, and lemon cakes. We can start somewhere near Iron Cross and Daffodil. Melissa pursed her lips, paused for a moment, and nodded her head slowly. Besides, I'm not in any hurry to move. I have to wait for Benson to come back. Klein laughed and said, otherwise, he would open the door and be shocked and surprised and say, Where's my stuff? Where are my brothers and sisters? Where's my home? Is this my home? Am I in the wrong place? Goddess, tell me if this is a dream. How can I come back from a few days out and not even have a home? As he mimicked Benson's tone, Melissa involuntarily bent her eyes and showed the dimples of her cheeks. No, Mr. Ferenc will be waiting at the door all the time to make Benson hand over the key to his flat. Benson can't get upstairs at all. The girl insulted the penny-pinching landlord. In the Moretti family, everyone likes to make jokes about the landlord Mr. French, and this trend is brought by the eldest brother Benson. Yeah, he wouldn't change the locks for the tenants behind him. Klein smiled and gestured to the door, quipping, Ms. Melissa, would you like to celebrate at Silvercrest? Melissa sighed slightly. Klein, do you know Selena? My classmates, my good friends? Selena. Klein's mind immediately came to a girl with long wine-red hair and dark brown eyes, whose parents were believers in the goddess of the night and had blessed her in the name of Saint Selena, who was not yet 16, half a year younger than her sister Melissa, a happy, outgoing girl. AFMM, Klein nodded to show she remembered Selena. Wood, her brother Chris, a solicitor, is also earning close to $3 a week, and his fiancée works part-time as a typist. Melissa first described the situation, then said they have been engaged for more than 4 years. In order to have a stable and good life after marriage, until today is still saving money, has not entered the church, is going to wait at least 1 year, according to Selena, and her brother. Similar people are like this. Generally after 28 years old to get married, you have to prepare in advance. Save money. Don't waste. Just go to a restaurant for a meal. Do you need so much reasoning? Klein didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She thought for a few seconds and said, Melissa, I'm making $3 a week right now, and it's going to increase every year. Don't worry. But we need to save money for accidents, such as the sudden collapse of the security company. One of my classmates had to quit school because his father's company went bankrupt and he had to go to the docks to find temporary work. Melissa looked serious and persuaded her brother. Klein reaches down and covers her fist. That security company has something to do with the government. Well, it doesn't just go out of business, but the government is also unstable. After every election, if there is a change of party, most of the positions will be changed and it will become a mess. Melissa defiantly retorted. Sister, you know so much. Klein shook her head in exasperation and amusement. All right, then I'll make a soup with the leftovers from yesterday. And you go down the street and buy a pan-fried fish, a piece of beef with black pepper sauce, a small pot of cream, and bring me a ginger beer. Anyway, a little celebration. These were the things the hawkers in Iron Cross used to sell. A pan-fried fish for 6 to 8 pence, a modest piece of beef with black pepper sauce for 5 pence, a glass of ginger ale for 1 penny, a small pot of cream, about 1/4 pound, for 4 pence, and a pound of cream for 1 sol and 3 pence. The original owner is responsible for the purchase of food ingredients in the family every holiday, and is not unfamiliar with the price. Klein calculated in his mind for a few seconds and concluded that the approximate cost of 1 sol 6 pence, so he directly drew the 1 sol notes. Melissa no longer objected, put down her stationery bag, and took the money. As her sister pulled out the cream jar and the bowl for the rest of the food and walked briskly to the door, Klein thought for a moment and called out to her, Melissa, buy some fruit with the rest of the money. Many vendors in Iron Cross Street will buy fruit from other places that are not good quality or have been stored for too long. And people here are not angry about this because the price is very cheap. As long as you go home and cut off the rotten places, you can taste delicious, which is a cheap enjoyment. With those words, Klein quickly moved closer, pulled the remaining penny from her trouser pocket, and placed it in her sister's palm. Huh? Melissa's brown eyes looked at her brother quizzically and vacantly. Klein took 2 steps back and smiled. Remember to go to Mrs. Slim and reward yourself with a small piece of lemon cake. Melissa opened her mouth, blinked, and finally uttered just one word. Okay. She turned quickly, pulled the door out, and pedaled toward the stairs. A river runs through, lined with cypress and maple trees, and the air is so clean, it makes you feel drunk. Klein, who had come to settle the interview, stepped off the stagecoach which had paid 6 pence, revolver in hand and cane in hand, and walked along the concrete road toward the 3-story brick house amidst the green that was the Tinian University office building. It is one of the 2 most famous universities in the Kingdom of Rune. This is my first time here, Klein exclaimed as she walked. Hoi University, across the river, is rudimentary in comparison. Ha! Ha! As cry drew near, 2 racing boats rushed up the Hoi, the wooden oars turning in a neat and orderly manner. This is a popular rowing sport in all universities in the Kingdom of Ruane, in order to Klein's family to rely on scholarships to finish college. And Welch and other people have participated in the boat club of Hoi University, rowing a good boat. So young, Klein stopped and let out a sigh. In another week, that will no longer be the case, as schools break up for the summer. He walked down the tree-lined road to the gray, 3-story brick house, checked in, entered, and knew his way to the office where he had been last seen. Boom, boom, boom. He tapped on the half-open door with his fingers. Come in, a male voice came from the door. As Klein opened the door, the middle-aged teacher in a white shirt and black tuxedo frowned. The interview is in an hour. Do you remember me, Mr. Stone? Cohen Senior Associate Professor's student, Klein Moretti. You read my recommendation. Klein smiled and took off her hat. Harvin Stone stroked his big black beard and wondered, what do you want? I don't do interviews. Well, I've already found a job, and I won't be interviewing today. Klein said exactly what she was coming for. Well, Harvin Stone understood, stood up, extended his right hand, and said, Congratulations, what a polite young man. I'll tell the professor and the senior associate professors. Klein shook hands and was about to leave with a few pleasantries when a familiar voice said, "Moretti, have you found another job?" Klein turned and saw an older man with silver hair, deep contoured, but not many wrinkles, with sunken eyes, dark blue eyes, and a sharp black tuxedo. "Good morning, Master, Mr. Isaac," he saluted quickly. "Why are you here?" The old man was none other than Quentin, Senior Associate Professor of History at Hoy University, and his mentor. Mr. Cohen, next to Cohen, was a middle-aged man of medium height, with a tan skin, a newspaper in his hand, no beard, wearing a top hat, dark hair, brown eyes, soft features, an indescribable change of life in his eyes, and a mole under his right ear that could only be seen on closer examination. Mr. Isaac, a history faculty member at Hoy University, who often helped the original owner, liked to argue with his mentor, Senior Associate Professor Cohen, and had conflicting views. But in fact, the two were very good friends, otherwise they would not like to talk together. Cohen nodded and said in a soothing voice, "Isaac and I are here for an academic conference." "What job have you got?" "A security company doing antiquities finding, collection, and conservation. They need specialist consultants for 3 a week." Repeating what she told her sister the day before, Klein explained, "You know, I like to explore history, not summarize it." Cohen nodded lightly. "Everyone has their own choice, and I'm pleased that you can remember to come to Tingen University to inform them, rather than just be absent." At this point, Isaac interjected and asked, "Klein, do you know what happened with Welch and Naya? I read in the paper that they were killed by burglars. It turned into a home invasion, and it's in the paper so soon." Klein pauses, weighing her words. "I don't know exactly what happened, but Welch got a copy of the notes of the Antigonus family of the Solomon Empire and asked me to interpret it. I went there for a few days, and then I was busy looking for a job, and the police came to see me the other day." He deliberately revealed Solomon's Empire and House of Antigonus to see if the two history teachers would know anything about it. Quaternary, Cohen frowned and whispered. Isaac with bronze skin and vicissitudes of eyes was terrified, then took a breath and rubbed the sun with his left hand holding the newspaper. Antigonus. It feels familiar, but I can't remember where I heard it.